Team, welcome to today's lesson. We're going to be talking about something that the vast majority of people are either going through right now, have been through, and you will all definitely come up against this again in the future. And it's that little voice in your head telling you to quit on yourself, telling you to quit because things are getting difficult. What is the point? And we all have this. You tell yourself you're not good enough. You tell yourself this isn't working. We're going to really get into that today, and we're going to discuss how you can make that voice quieter and how you can make your logical brain speak louder, okay? So when motivation disappears, which it will, when progress stalls, which it definitely will, when everything feels like a struggle, when you feel like your head's having a wobble, what separates the people who get results and who don't get results are the ones that really get solid progress, are the ones that don't listen to that voice and definitely make it quieter. The ones that really struggle and then end up quitting on themselves are the ones that listen to that voice. And we're going to talk about today how to shut that voice up or definitely make it quieter. You are not alone in this. At some point in this program, things will feel hard. Every single person has been through it, and myself included, through my health and fitness life, through my business life. It gets tough. It's a struggle. You might be going through this right now. You might have gone through it in the past. Like I said before, you're definitely going to come up against it in the future again. And that moment when you wonder whether all that effort's worth it, is this worth it? That's not a sign that something's gone wrong. That's the moment every single person goes through. And the ones who get the results, like I said, aren't the ones who never feel it, but they're the ones that know what to do when that feeling arrives. So you've got proof that you can get through that when that feeling arrives. And that is what we're talking about. So what that feeling actually is. Well, when things get difficult, your brain looks for the familiar. When things get uncomfortable, your brain wants to be comfortable, and it doesn't choose the best option for you. It chooses the familiar option. So stepping back into old patterns feels like a nice relief because those patterns are known territory for your brain. But that relief is very, very, very short-lived. What replaces it is the quiet background stress of knowing that you've stepped away from something that matters to you, from knowing that you've quit on yourself. Or basically, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. If you pull out something like that, you're essentially quitting on yourself. And that isn't a great way to live your life, is it? That stress doesn't go anywhere. It's just going to sit there. It gets heavier than the discomfort pushing you through it ever was. And that feeling of discomfort just snowballs and snowballs. You'll start something again. You can end up quitting after a couple of weeks and it snowballs again. So we need to really get through those difficult moments. And that is what's going to build you as a person moving forward. Now, why hard moments feel like signals to stop. Like I said, your brain is wired to flag discomfort as danger. It's biology, all right? The problem is most people let that wiring, that internal brain wiring, make the decisions for them without even questioning whether it's a true statement or not, okay? So what your brain says is, oh, the method's wrong, the timing's off, maybe this just isn't for me, maybe I can't do this. What's actually true is that discomfort is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that something real is happening and about to change within you. And then the reframe is that these hard moments aren't obstacles to process. They are the bloody process. It's all part of the process. You cannot expect to achieve great results without facing difficult moments and difficult times. And you cannot let that consume you. You have to be bigger than that and get through it, because that is where the real progress is made, in that process. The story you tell yourself when it's not working yet. And this is something, again, most people will be going through, okay? I've tried it before, it didn't work. I'm not someone who can stick to things. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I can't do this. These feel like honest statements to yourself. They 100% are not. They're conclusions built from previous difficult moments that never got worked through because you quit on yourself. So you can't get progress or something because you keep stepping backwards. Every time you push through, instead of stepping back, you will start to write a different story for yourself, which is what we all want, right? We want to build that vision of yourself that you want to become, the one built on evidence rather than assumption. And you only get to become that person you want to become by the evidence that you can see difficult things through. So when you quit on yourself, it literally achieves nothing, absolutely nothing. All it achieves is that you go backwards and you convince yourself that you can do something. And you know what? You're starting to back it up with evidence. We want to back it up with evidence that you can do things, and you've got to see things through, especially if you really want to change stuff. A good analogy I use for this is, what advice would you give to somebody you love, whether that's a friend, whether that's a family member, your kids, your partner, whatever? If someone you cared about said that they were thinking of giving up on something that genuinely mattered to them, you wouldn't help them find the exit. You'd remind them of why they started. You talk to them logically and rationally. You tell them the hard part is supposed to feel hard, which it's meant to, because that is why most people can't see it through, because it's difficult and most people revert back to square one. If you are going to make change, you have to be a different person. And it's supposed to feel difficult, but that doesn't mean you stop. And the advice you would give to your kids, your partner, your best friend, that advice you need to take on board yourself. So you deserve that same conversation from yourself. So start having it. Start being that person who talks to yourself and gives yourself good advice, not just the advice your emotions and your brain are telling you to go for and go forward with. Finding the way through builds something bigger than results. So every time you hit a hard moment, every time you find a way through rather than a way out, something magical is happening. And I mean this, it's absolutely insanely magical, right? You build evidence. When you build evidence, evidence shows that you can handle difficult things. That evidence shows that you can do difficult things. That evidence stacks up over weeks, months, and years and becomes something far more valuable than any physical results you'll see in the mirror. It builds real self-belief. And that is something 99% of people do not have, is real self-belief. Not the kind that you talk yourself into and you have motivation and spurts and stuff. The kind that's built entirely from the proof that you just do difficult things. And that changes how you show up in every area of your life. And it literally, the more self-belief you have, your life changes for the better. It's insane how much it does it. Nobody is coming to do this for you as well. It's very important that we say this. Nobody will ever want this more for you than you want it for yourself. The program, the structure, the support, none of it works without you deciding that this is definitely bloody happening, all right? That's not me putting pressure on you. That's not the program putting pressure on you. It's the most empowering thing you can ever hear, because it means you have complete control over what happens next, over what happens in your life. I think people underestimate just how much control they have over their lives, and we tend to lean into blaming external circumstances. We have the control to deal with those external circumstances with the right emotions that will help us move forward, and then take action to help us move forward. Very, very important, guys, this one today. So let's make sure this is sinking in, all right? And nobody does it alone either. So nobody can do it but you, yes, but you don't do it alone either. So what the support around you is actually for. Accountability isn't someone watching over your shoulder, being a babysitter, okay? Waiting for you to slip up, then telling you what to do. It's a structure that makes showing up much easier than not showing up. That's what accountability is in a nutshell, right? So your check-in happens whether you like it or not because you don't feel like doing it this week because it hasn't been a good week. You get it done because it's difficult and it makes you build self-belief because you can do that difficult stuff and you're confronting your fears. The next one is someone who genuinely wants to know how your week is going. That is me. I genuinely want to know how your week is going so I can help you get to where you want to be. Simple as that. And then it's a system that removes the option it removes the option of quietly disappearing. So accountability removes that option, because when people are left alone, most people, the vast majority of people, quietly negotiate themselves into doing less. The support around you removes that negotiation before the moment even arrives, before that difficult situation even arrives. So you have the structure, which removes the need to decide things. It's already decided for you. And then you have the community of people who know your goal and won't let you quietly disappear. And that is what accountability does. It is so powerful, it is so important, and it is so underrated. Please lean into the accountability, whether it's with me or with the community. Please do it. And what staying in the game actually looks like. Not perfect weeks. Definitely not perfect weeks. A missed session followed by showing up for the next one is what we're looking for, okay? You never miss twice. A hard week is followed by a strong week. That is the standard you need to set yourself to. You don't let a bad week turn into 2, turn into 3, because again, what is the point? There is no point. You're achieving nothing. We are human beings. We are designed to achieve things. And if you want to achieve something with your health and fitness, you cannot let a bad week go into 2 or 3, because it is pointless. And then you'll blame everyone else, but the sole blame lies on you because you let yourself quit. You let yourself let that standard slip. And then send in a check-in anyway. I know I talked about this before, but even when you don't want to, you get it done, because the conversation that follows will help you move forward. You need to get that stuff done. The people that get results are the ones who keep showing up. They keep showing up throughout it, even when things are difficult, even when life is hard, even when they feel like their head's gone to pot. All right. The people that get the results keep showing up, and the real cost of going round in circles. So 6 months from now, yeah, imagine it. You'll either be far further forward because you kept at it, you kept going, you trust yourself, you've built self-belief, you've built self-trust. You're like, you know what? I'm actually changing my life here for the better. This is amazing. Or you'll be starting again from square one, possibly even further back. Your self-belief has been absolutely kicked down even further, your confidence even further down, and you're like, oh, I wish I'd have stuck it out. And that will happen because hindsight's a bloody magical thing, right? The time passes either way. The stress of knowing what you should be doing and feeling like you can make it stick costs far more than the discomfort of pushing through the hard moments. You already know this, right? You came into this program because you knew it. Hold on to that feeling. And I'll say that again, the stress of knowing what you should be doing and feeling like you can make it stick costs a lot more than the discomfort of pushing through the hard moments. Make sure that sticks, okay? Hopefully that all makes sense. And the overriding thing of all this is keep going. If you feel yourself going quiet this week, do one thing. Do not disappear for yourself more than anything. Now, when I chase people up constantly, it's because I can sense people are disappearing and I can sense people are losing it a little bit. And I will pester you until you realize that that is not the right thing to do. You keep going for yourself. The most important thing here is that you trust yourself long term. You build that self-belief, and by keeping going, you do that, okay? If you're struggling, you've got to reach out. Message me. The support is here specifically for moments when it's hardest to use it, okay? Show up for yourself every single day in one way or another and get the check-in done. Even if it's an imperfect one, well, especially if it's an imperfect one, to be honest. So this is the thing, guys. We have to make this crystal clear in our head that if things don't go to plan, we cannot quit on ourselves because we achieved nothing. If we're trying to achieve something, you've got to dig deep and you've got to push through it. Even when it seems like it's never ending, you push through it, you will get phenomenal results. This is a powerful one, all right? It really, really is. If you've got any questions about this, you've got to drop me a message. It's very important that you do. Hopefully it's all made sense. I'm sure it has. And hopefully it's hit home and made you think, you know what? Yeah, I can do this. I'm going to push through it. Any questions, guys, let me know and I'll speak to you later.